Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on Supergirl Season 2, and this is going to be my review for episode 19, otherwise entitled Alex. So obviously before we go ahead, there will be spoilers within this video, so if you have not watched the episode yet, be sure to go check it out before watching the rest of this video, just so you know, do not get spoiled. Now last episode, there wasn't really too much to like the overarching story of the season, apart from a little bit at the end, with Mon-El's mother meeting with Lena Luthor, which obviously did continue on into this episode if you've watched it, and was sort of like the side story. It probably took up maybe like a third or a quarter of the episode, so it was still pretty relevant, but we will talk more about that towards the end of the video. Now I must say, I did not agree with the pineapple on the pizza situation that occurred towards the beginning of this episode. Just not a big fan of it, but hey, maybe it's an alien thing, saying that it was like Mon-El and Kara that were eating the ham and pineapple pizza. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. It's a bit weird, so if you're into it, that's fine, but yeah, not a big fan of it. But this opening scene did sort of set up the conflict between Maggie and Kara, which we did experience for the rest of the episode, or like, you know, set up what like their story, their relationship, I guess you could say, for this episode would be like. Now going into this episode, if you'd watched the promos or anything like that, or even read the synopsis, you knew that Alex was going to get kidnapped, but we weren't really sure who by and what the like story around that would be, which I guess is good going into an episode. You don't want to know everything. But essentially Alex was used as like a bargaining chip, so Kara or Supergirl would break a character known as Peter Thompson out of prison. Now obviously we had no idea who Peter Thompson was. We're like, okay. The only thing I knew about the character is that the actor that played him was in Guardians of the Galaxy, because I actually rewatched Guardians of the Galaxy, sorry, like 2.5 weeks ago, and yeah, I noticed he was, I think, Star-Lord's uncle, I think, maybe, I'm not too sure. But the mystery caller that wants Kara to break him out says that he knows that she is Supergirl. So at first, I thought he might have been like a former employee at Catco, because, you know, Kara was always doing weird things, disappearing when Supergirl was around and stuff like that. So I thought someone might have been able to connect the dots and kept that secret till they needed to, you know, use it, as I said, as like a bargaining chip. But we find out that the kidnapper is actually Rick Malvern, I think that's what his name was, who actually went to high school with the Danvers sisters. So I think he was in Alex's year. He actually thought Alex was hot and actually wanted to be with her, and Kara was obviously younger. But during this event, he actually witnessed younger Kara's heroics when she saved her family, which I think that was from Supergirl Season 1, because I can't remember too much from Supergirl Season 1, but I'm pretty sure that little part there, that was from Season 1, like a flashback from Season 1. Now a big part of this episode was really Kara's decision making, when really the situation with Alex was more of Maggie's side of thing. Like Maggie was the more professional person, I guess you want to say, to deal with it, because it was something that the police would have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, and that's what gets set up early in the episode, in the first couple of scenes, when Maggie was trying to deal with something and Supergirl came in, just tried to get it over and done with as fast as possible, when really, you know, the police could have done it in a more police-like manner. So as I said, Kara's rushing into everything, trying to make things work, but instead she's making things worse instead of making them work. I thought it was actually interesting that they made Peter Thompson not a major villain. Like obviously he'd done bad stuff before. He killed 2 people, I think that's what they said, and that's why he's doing life in prison. But they actually gave him like some morals, if you want to call it that, by actually, you know, giving Alex and Kara, or no, not giving Alex and Kara, so giving Maggie and Kara the possible location of Alex. Obviously he didn't know 100% that's where she would be, but he had the general idea, okay, this might be where Alex might have been put. The only thing I was annoyed with is that they didn't actually say where she was. It was just like a random warehouse, I guess. So unless that was like a storage location or something that Rick Malvern, or maybe that was a place that his dad had or something that Rick could use. That was a bit annoying that they didn't really explain that. Unless they didn't, it just went over my head, but I'm pretty sure they didn't. I just like it when things are tied up nicely, but it was just like a random location, so yeah. And then, as I said, we had that side story with Mon-El's mother and Lena Luthor, which I was a bit confused with at first, because I thought Lena Luthor was like, yeah, screw this woman, screw Mon-El's mother, I'm not working with her. But then at the end, she's just randomly there, so I don't know, you'd have to think it gets explained next episode, while Lena Luthor had that massive 180 flip and was like, get out of my building, and then, you know, next scene we see her, she's back talking to Mon-El's mother, and they're trying to build the transmatter portal, which I think is basically the same thing we saw in the episode when they went to Slaver's Moon, I think it was called. So unless it's something similar to that, maybe to a higher extent. So maybe they're trying to build something like that, but even more powerful. So it'll get explained in the next couple of episodes, because I'm not too sure if Supergirl has 23 episodes or 22. So if it's only got 22, that means we only have 3 episodes left. But if it's 23, that means it's got the same amount as the other shows. So it's got 4 left. So I'm not too sure what they're doing with it. But overall, I thought this was a decent episode. I didn't think it was... I'm getting a bit annoyed with Supergirl in regards to it not really having an overarching story for the season that's really strong. Like with Arrow and Flash and even Legends and stuff like that, we really knew where it was heading. But with Supergirl, it's a bit confusing. It almost seems like the last 2 episodes are just going to be this massive cluster bomb of action and stuff like that. And they're just trying to do like singular episode stories because they want to save those last 2 episodes for like to be really action packed with a lot of stuff going on. Which I guess it will be good when we get to those last 2 episodes. We'll be like, oh, this is awesome. But in the episodes leading up to that, it's just really like filler episodes for the most part with like a side story which connects to like the big stuff we're going to see at the end of the season. So it's a similar issue to what they had in season 1, even though I think season 2 is doing a more entertaining job with it. I think the side stories that they're doing are actually more entertaining. The season 1 ones were a bit below average. And even like the big villain and stuff they had to take down season 1, I thought was a bit of a disappointment as well. But from the stuff we've seen leading up into the finale in the second last episode and some of the behind the scenes stuff, if you've seen it on Twitter and stuff like that or even YouTube, you should know it should be pretty good. But I'm just a bit worried leading up into those final couple of episodes, like what's going to happen before. I know next week is a big Guardian or Jimmy Olsen episode. Haven't watched the promo, I just know it's going to be heavily revolved around him, but I will have a trailer breakdown out for that episode later on, so be on the lookout for that. No, be on the lookout for that, might I say. But thanks for watching, guys. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like on it. Let me know in the comment section down below, what did you think of this episode? What do you think is going on with Lena Luthor and Mon-El's mother? Do you think Mon-El's mother did some mind trick on Lena? Or do you think Lena's just randomly snapped and is like, you know what? I can use this transmatter portal to my advantage as well. So I may as well help this random woman out. But yeah, just leave your opinions on that in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.